Okay, so good evening, everybody. And today's topic is your spirituality. So, this is very unique to each person, right? So, if we are here, 7 of us, we'll have 7 opinion about it, 7 methods about it, 7 beliefs about it. So it's a very individual, uh, what do you say, opinion, experience, expectation. Okay, that is why I said we do not dive in deep because it's an ocean. Okay, but we just talk about spirituality a little bit. Each of us will give inputs. Okay, and then we answer the questions which are very specific to the self. Okay. So now again, just to make it more interactive, let us go one by one because anyway, we are only few of us. What is spirituality from each point of view? Okay, 1 or 2 lines, that's all. Navina.
Yeah, for me, it is like being at bliss and at peace, which can be attained through living in the moment and flowing with the flow of life.
Okay. Shiraz, if you're there. I don't think Shiraz is there. Alka.
Spirituality is like you have to know your inner self, your soul, sort of, because everything is energy. That's what I feel. Yeah, that's what I feel, that everything is moving around us all the time. That's what I feel. I don't know.
Okay. Anna.
Spirituality for me is connecting with the divine within me and feeling being one with everyone, everything around.
Okay. Pushpa. Okay, Pushpa is not around. Neha, are you there? Neha B.
Yes,
What
I
is
am.
what is spirituality according to you?
I think it's everything about the spirit, what the spirit knows, and what we are only getting to know through the vehicle of the body. And it's mostly energy, like everyone said, but it's everything that we are knowing through the connect of the body. And we're learning and knowing everything from the spirit, which already knows everything. So that spirit based is the spirituality.
Okay. Neha Gupta. Unmute.
Yeah. Spirituality for me is aligning myself to the divine and feeling that energy and being with the inner me, the silence.
Okay. Pushpa says spirituality is knowing about your real self. Okay, so we got each one of us, somewhere we define the common thing in our own words. Also, we added a little bit different things, which is true for each of us, right? So that's how we did. Now, for me, spirituality it's somewhere I believe that there is a force which is bigger than me or something which is powerful than me outside. And that somehow makes me behave what I am, what I should be. And there is nobody who can tell me what is that thing which is which is controlling the whole world, or which is not exactly controlling, which is created all of this. So understanding that, according to me, for me, is spirituality. And for some reason, I don't go very well with the word divine right from day one. It's not that people didn't pray in my house. Prayer was a major thing in my house. They believed in the frequencies and praying, etc. But I don't know what is, yeah, that's a very interesting thing. I need to figure out why I don't go well with word divine. Okay. That is something for me to figure out. Now let's see a little bit more. Again, it's going to be only discussion among us. So, so there is something else also, which probably when we are born, which we were introduced to, was religion. Actually, spirituality came later. First, what we were introduced was religion. By birth, we are born to a religion. Should it be like that? It shouldn't be, but it is like that. So what is the difference between the religion and spirituality? It may be controversial, but that is the truth of the world. So, as a lot of you said, spirituality is about connecting to the divine in your own way. Each one of us told what it is for us, in your own way. Whereas religion is, again, connecting to the divine, but in a very specified manner. It has rules. You should do like this only. Sometimes it has rule. If you don't do like this, it will happen. That is religion. So probably this religion started way, way, way long back to help people. There may be people who cannot understand the spirituality. There may be people who are deep down so much in the problem. Any issue, problem actually ultimately will take you towards spirituality. But then in the middle of the pain and middle of all of it, they needed help. So the external forces, people, helped them. And that became the religion. And a lot of people blindly followed it. Because 10 people have found good things in that. Why not the other 10 people feel? They will feel. So that is the belief. So religion is mostly because of that. So if you start looking a little more deeper about spirituality and religion, spirituality can be very personal. And religion is based on a group, community oriented. Then spirituality is all about you getting the awareness. So that means that all 6, 7 of us here won't get the same awareness. What awareness is needed by you, you will get that. Whereas religion is, it gives a common knowledge to everybody. And you can read about the knowledge and everybody will understand the knowledge. Now, spirituality, when you start realizing the spirituality, it gives you a sense of freedom. Whereas religion makes you be obedient and it's more of liberation, not freedom. And spirituality is all about how you feel. Religion is all about rules. Spirituality mostly tells you to be in the present. Mindfulness is there, blah, blah, blah. Past, future, you do it, but it will tell you action is what it is in the present, etc. But religion talks about future. If you do like this, in future, you will get like that. Okay? And spirituality is all about oneness. In the end, somebody said here, in the end, realizing it's about oneness. Religion is duality based. It has good and bad. This is good to do. This is bad to do. You should not do it. This is evil. This is divine. This is right. This is wrong. Heaven, hell, all of these things, there is very clear demarcation of duality in the religion. Spirituality makes it, as we said, oneness. It kind of brings everything into togetherness. It's one. It's one actually. Now, religion, what it does is it wants to bring people, actually the idea of the religion is oneness again. But it separates people in the pretext of making it one. It's like, okay, you don't follow this, whatever I'm telling you, then you're a separate group. Who doesn't follow this? We are the group which will follow this. So it kinds of brings separatedness at some level. And spirituality is you figuring about the whole thing, figuring about how powerful you are or how you are the one. What is it about you? Religious is all about, there is something outside like a deity or, something like that, which is powerful, and you're trying to take the help of it by doing so many things so that you will get that help, kind of a thing. And spirituality is all about when you probably attain that state of mind, there is joy. The state of mind itself is like, let's say, it's like when you go high, that kind of a joy, let's say, or even magnanimous, even compared to that. Okay. Whereas the religion supports or promotes self-sacrifices and duty oriented. It's more than it's if it's joy here, there you're it's like spirituality, you're doing it to experience the joy. Here the religion is more like you're doing it because it's a duty. And a lot of things you let go. But here you let go it because you know that whatever you're holding on to is not giving you the joy. Whereas in the religion side, you let go it because there is self-sacrifice is needed. This kind of a thing. Pity for others is also in the religion side. Whereas here you don't have pity for others as such because you believe that they are exactly like you. It's oneness. Now, spirituality is all the time about self-oriented. It is, you choose what you want to do. Of course, you have teachers, you have people who will teach you because we don't know exactly what it is. And there is internet, there is so much of content, so much to know. People who have already gone through the path can teach us. So, we believe that we can go a little faster in the direction. Whereas religion is all about authority directed. There is always somebody and you are doing it for them. Okay? It is like it may be a god, it may be a deity, it may be a guru, it may be some things like that. Okay? And spirituality is all based on experiential. Only when you feel it, realize it, you understand you are in the path of the spiritual. Whereas religion is all about theoretical and belief-based. You believe that this is going to happen, so you do that. So, these are the main difference between spirituality and religion. Now, there is one more thing. Neha B said it's the spirit from whom we are learning things. There is a slight something to understand there. She would have meant something else, but I'm just using that to talk about this. Is spirituality talking to the dead people? There is a soul is different, spirit is different. Of course it is there, spirit is there. There are mediums, there are psychics. A lot of work is there which is done on the spirits. And that is neither bad nor good. That is also part of the spirituality. But we don't call that spirituality, we call it spiritualism. Like how you have shamanism, that zim, zims, like that you have spiritualism, which is all about dealing with the, dealing word is not nice. It's all about working with the spirits. There's a whole big world out there that also has a lot of knowledge. It has more knowledge about soul than you. It has a knowledge of that dimension. Okay? So that is a different thing. But is that part of the spirituality? It can be. That's up to you. That's definitely up to you. Okay? So now, now what happens is, everybody would have got introduced to spirituality at some level for various reasons. That's part of our questions, what we are going to answer. It is, remember, this whole thing is to getting to know ourselves better. Right? So that's part of answering our questions. But dwelling in the spirituality, wanting to know more and more and more, and I'm doing it, all kinds of things, without understanding why you ended up here, is like a distraction in your life. You should be careful about that because it's an endless path. It doesn't have any end. No one has reached the end part of it. Okay? And it's also, it's like a labyrinth. It goes everywhere. It's a weird, like you enter a path and it has forks and there are multiple choices you make. That will take you somewhere. It's just a mess. You wouldn't even know where you're going. So you better have some kind of a goal. Why you're going there, what you're doing. You let that goal be, I'm interested in it. Even then it's fine. Okay? Otherwise, it becomes a distraction and somewhere it may start hampering your normal life. So you have to be very careful about it. Where you are under your own control. Why I'm trying to tell you is, what if the fear starts coming to you that if I don't do this, what will happen? You're actually getting back to being religious then. Right? And or on the contrary, if I don't do this, then my problem will be too much. So I will just keep doing it so much and so much, because somewhere initially maybe my problem solved, or I believe the teacher so much that I will try it forever. If I don't have a clear goal, then whatever you're doing is wrong. Maybe your path is different. Maybe you're not doing the way it should be. So then it is like you're lost somewhere and forever you're doing without any result. So it's extremely important to know that are you getting the result which you are aiming at? You cannot lose sight of that. Okay? Now, is there any one path which is the true path? This is also again the problem of the spirituality. It's not a problem. Maybe if you look at it like very too many options you have, but then there is no one truth. If the teacher is telling like something, you have to validate that. Is that okay with you? You can't just blindly believe everything, isn't it? You need to validate, you need to understand. You don't have to ask the question, is that true? It could be true for somebody. That's why it just came into being, that belief or whatever that is. But you need to check whether that resonates with you. That's the most important thing of spirituality. Otherwise, again, you are just on the path of the religion. So, in such cases, anyway, you have such detailed religious thing. Why don't you follow that? If you want to get into the spirituality, you should figure out for yourself. And that's the only way. If that doesn't go very well with you and you feel perturbed, you feel restless, irritated because you're not getting it, then you better not go there. It's okay to be religious and it brings peace for you, then it should be fine. And there are many, many varieties of paths. It could be mental, it could be physical, it could be emotional path. Physical path is, let's say, doing yoga, right? And there are lots of other things which are Tai Chi is there, Qigong is there. Quite a few things are there which are physical path of spirituality. And so let's see some of those lists of spiritual understanding. The thing is, okay, let's understand after we list out all of that, whichever I was about to tell you. What happens is there are quite a few rituals which can make you go in the path of spirituality. For example, then if you tell me that all the ritual things, religious things are rituals, yeah, that is true, I agree. But here, why you are doing it? Because you are trying to gather understanding of what is that which is you are, basically. And for that, if you're using the rituals, like there are a lot of shamanic rituals, right? Or let's say writing a journal is also a kind of a ritual if you're doing it every day. Retrospecting could be a ritual. Or practicing your psychic abilities could be a ritual. So when we're saying rituals, saying mantra could be a ritual. It depends on how the experience it is giving you will define whether it is the spiritual or the religious. I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you, right? If you use mantra 101 times or whatever, and then you get to the state where you can do whatever you want, then definitely this is a ritualistic part of the spirituality. So there are paganism is there, right? For some reason, I'm drawn to it. Okay, whatever that is. And then shamanism is there, and plant medicine is there. Ayahuascas, right? And then crystals are there, herbal healings are there, so many things are there. You all know about it. You can create your own stuff. Then there are other things like metaphysical varieties, energy, let's say energy, okay? So which is Reiki, chakra healings, pranic healing. So many things are there which we don't know at all. Nowadays, so many things are coming into the surface, and then we are thinking, oh, what is this new thing which I never knew? Okay. And spirit guides, using the spirit guides and masters. Almoria, whatever we tried was that actually. And divinations are there, using tarot cards, palmistry, and Jyotisha, and using pendulums, dowsing. Then you have witchcrafts, magic. They are kind of probably ritualistic based. Channeling is there. And there is the soul retrieval is there. These are all like, overlapping with so many things, right? A lot of different soul retrievals are there. If you're talking about psychology related things, soul retrieval is nothing but your inner child work. But if you're talking about shamanism, soul retrieval, it has its own procedure there. So like that, many things are there. Then when you take the body based, you have yoga and you have Tai Chi, breath work, Tantra mantras, and you have dancing is there. Sufi dancing is such a beautiful spiritual experience. And you have heart-based heart meditation. You have heard it, right? Heart mindfulness. Oh, what was that? There is something like that, right? And bhakti, devotion is one of the most easiest thing. It superimposes itself with religion. But it's not exactly religion. You have your own bhakti or devotions which you can use it to become spiritual. And prayers, gratitude, and a lot of letting go exercises, practicing unconditional love, compassion, and also finding your life purposes, because that gives you peace, a lot of peace. So these are all somewhere related to heart and heartfulness kind of a thing, mindfulness, and even serving, helping others. And if you start listening to your intuition, that is also being spiritual. Something to understand the self through any method of this is about spiritual. Now, another thing is meditations. Yeah, that is related to mind. Visualization technique, hypnosis, regression, positive thinking, contemplation, which we do it every Tuesday. There's nothing but contemplation. Getting into the trance state and practicing, manifestation by understanding law of attraction. All of these things probably related to mind. Now there is also psychology. What is that? Psychology is science of the spirituality, let's say that way. If spirituality is philosophy, science is psychology, which science has done research and proved and everything, right? So what happens is, being psychologically or practicing psychology, being aware of all your psyche, all of that gives you spirituality, provided you're seeking something who you are. So it has to be a mix of spirituality as well as psychology. That is the ideal world in the current days. So let's say that you are doing Reiki everything. Why are you doing Reiki? Because I'm feeling depressed and there is something bothering me. Okay, psychology came into picture. Now use Reiki and combine both. So that seems to be the most ideal thing. Okay. So Eastern spirituality, Western spirituality, both are different. Eastern spirituality is where you completely take the ego out. Whereas the Western psychology, Western spirituality completely depends on building the ego, identity, who you are, why you're here, etc. But both are required. Both probably is micro and macro levels, and it's required very much. Heart and mind is required. When the heart is at peace, it makes the mind at peace. If the mind is gone for a toss, it makes the heart also goes for a toss, and you'll have all, physiological problems, physical problems too. So this is a brief explanation of what is spirituality, or what type of spirituality is there. Now, many people would say that I can't sit and meditate, or I don't even know what is meditation. A lot of people say that. That is true. I feel I also don't know meditation. I rather want to go with guided meditation or guided process. It doesn't matter at all, because the whole idea is to go to the level of theta frequency. That is the level where something happens to you, and there is no specific answer as to what will happen to you. Each one has their own experience, but it's all about going to theta brain wave. So whether you do meditation, whether you do guided process, whether you listen to the music, I don't know what all you want to do, but whatever you do, if that takes you to the theta brain wave, that means you have experienced what is spirituality. Okay. Now, okay, then I can drink, I can take the plant medicine, everything, and then I can go to that level also. That's true. That's one thing you can say. But when your own mind can show you that, why you need to take the external help? It's very limited. Every time will you keep drinking then? You'll become a drunkard, and then so many other problems starts. Why can't you just learn the ability? Once if you learn it, once you taste it, then you know how to get there. Maybe you have to do a lot of practice, but then that's exactly how it is. Yeah. So now what happens is, the crux of the spirituality is to understanding who you are. Now, who you are means whatever is happening in your life comes into picture. Why that is happening to me also comes into picture. Am I happy with that also comes into picture. And all that so far we have done in this series, like how worthy you are, do you love, how are you connected with others, all of this will come into picture as part of your spirituality. You don't escape it, because if you start doing meditation, first these things will come up. Only when you understand this fully, I'm not telling that only when you solve it fully. At least when you understand it, you'll make way for something else to come up. Also, in that state of mind, you can heal yourself. You can heal your relationships. Everything can be healed in that state, because that state is such a most powerful, original self of yours, which can heal everything. Because our brain or mind or whatever, brain, let's say brain, because there are neurons, the state of mind can go there because the brain goes to that state. Basically, there are chemicals in your body, hormones, which is actually brain is the one which is secreting. So spirituality actually can be told as brain waves, right? Or the chemical behaviors which will take you to that state. And that has so much of power. It's much more powerful than hydrogen bombs. And we are not using it because we don't know how to use it. Maybe that's the reason why it's not shown to us. We may use it in a wrong sense, maybe. I don't know why it is like that. But Unknowingly, at least you can use it when you go to that state. Because the very belief that I am not that powerful will anyway stop you doing all kinds of nonsense. I'm sure about it. We don't believe that we are so powerful. So we can't do anything in a wrong sense because we are not powerful. That's what we believe. Okay? So even the shadow work is part of being spiritual. So you start spending time for yourself, understanding or healing whatever comes up. And as you start doing that, let's say you do that in your meditative space from today onwards. Your meditation is nothing but just concentrating on your breathing, slowing down your breathing, and asking one question a day. Why this is happening to me? Why this is happening to me? Why this is happening to me? Just ask that question. Now, what happens is as the brain wave is going lower and lower in frequencies, at some point you are hallucinating. That's at the alpha level. Hallucination is something like you're half dreaming. When you're sleeping, you know that you're aware of seeing some pictures which are nowhere related to the day, whatever happened in the day. Sometimes you wake up also, like you trip over and you get up suddenly, trip over something in your dream. Or you're thinking that just now I was thinking like this, and what is this? Some image, some picture, somebody saying something, and you'll wake up. Many times when we are doing a guided meditation or something, a lot of people fall asleep and they wake up, right? In the end, they wake up, right? So in their head, some hallucination will be happening. And slowly they'll lose control over it. But you can maintain that hallucination and control. You know what you're dreaming. That's what I mean to say. And you're thinking that, oh, I'm seeing this. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm seeing this. Oh, fine. I know I'm hallucinating. That is the level of alpha. And still it'll go a little more deeper, which is theta, where you lose control. So this is the place where if you have a record which is running and telling you something which will help you, if you are intending to heal something. If not, if you're asking a question why it is like that to me, or what is my life purpose, who am I, again and again, and you go to alpha level and theta level, something will appear like images. And if that makes sense to you, that is when the aha moments will come. Awareness will come. And if you still hold a little bit control over there, that's again comes by practice, you can heal yourself there. Even in alpha level itself, you can do it. A lot of things you can do. All the therapies, what we do, regression therapy, hypnotherapy is at the alpha level, even a little bit at the theta level. And that is the level where all the good, the capacity of the brain, the heart, goes to the brain giving signals. And the brain can change completely every problem in your body, every belief you're carrying. That's how the relationship will change. The beliefs are the one which is causing problem to you. And the nerve-related signals are causing problem to your body. So the required thing will be changed by the brain. And when you change your beliefs, you don't have any more resentments or regrets or angry about others or expectations. You're so happy. You're so happy about yourself. That kind of gives that kind of feeling to the brain and the body, that happy feeling. And that just doesn't make any more, all your resistances will go away. And because of which your life starts changing. Okay, so how long will I do this? Yeah, maybe 4 days will change you. Maybe 1 year will change you. You have to make it an integral part of your practice. Now, shall I keep on practicing the same thing over and again? Maybe you do so, or change different things. Make it interesting for you. Keep on practicing, experiencing, trying out different things for yourself. Until you feel that, until you do it once, you will realize what it is. But it's also very subconscious because you're not very sure how it happened. You will, if you retrospect about it, you'll think, okay, I did that. In that I saw something like this. Is that what changed me? Well, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely changed. That's exactly how it is. I'm telling you this because that's how I solved my respiratory issue, which was there since 9 years old when I was till 42 years old. I completely healed that. That's where I'm trying to tell you. When it happens, you'll know. I don't know how to tell beyond that. This is what I can probably tell. Beyond which I don't know how to tell. I'm sure all of you also have experienced. If you have not practicing any of the spiritual related stuff, then I can't. I can only tell you start from today. It requires you to have your own time. That's where it starts. Now, if you ask me, okay, we are answering all of these questions. Is it being spiritual? In this 1 hour time, it may not be spiritual. But this will guide you to think and retrospect when you are on your own and alone and sitting and thinking. That is spiritual practice. Right? Now, practice in journaling. If you spend good enough time journaling, because when you're journaling, you and the book is there. No one is there. But not during this 1 hour time here. It has to be so much spending time with the self. That is what actually takes you there. And that is where the manifestation, everything is beautiful. If you do not practice it, don't expect things to happen to you. The whole idea of the spirituality is you need to change from wherever you are right now to another state, a better state. Then only it is happening to you. If it is not, then you're just having fun. In the sense, it's not a problem at all to have fun. If you're interested, I'm learning a lot of things, it's okay. It's really nice. It's like going to a music concert for a show. You spend time there, you had good time and you came back home. Any of the courses can be like that. Any of the workshops can be like that. And you wanted a break from your life, so you rather go to a workshop and enjoy and come back. Of course, I love it. I really love that. That's also okay. But if you start practicing those you learned on your own, then something will happen there. And that's part of your spirituality. Okay? Now, we will ask the questions now. Okay? Now, should everybody have a spiritual awakening? What is spiritual awakening? Spiritual awakening is a point where your spirituality starts actually. It is not what you get later. Something in your life makes you become spiritual awakening. From then onwards, I became spiritual. That is spiritual awakening. But it's not necessary that everybody should have spiritual awakening. You could be genuinely inclined towards it. You probably have seen so much of those talk and experiences, everything in your house. As a child, probably you got grooved into it. The children of current life, current time, are much more aware of their spirituality than us. Why? You know why? Can you tell me the reason why?
More
Can you?
exposure and more, I mean, a lot of things have become available, like the courses, and they see us practicing it maybe in,
Exactly. The whole point is you have changed.
yeah.
And that is why they have changed.
The consciousness of the people around has changed a lot.
Yeah, collective consciousness.
Collective, yes.
That's where we are all there, right? We are all talking, we are hearing, we are practicing. So they naturally get that. So, and now currently in this whole world is so ready with spirituality. Everybody is like, it's very easy to even learn and make others learn too. It's very easy. So the next generation will come with being spiritual. So for them, they don't have to have the belief. They don't have to practice. By birth, they know it. It will be like that. So the world will be changing. The world will be far more different than what we are today. Hopefully, they will change our world. We are already putting that responsibility on them, you know. It's like, okay, I learned and I taught you. Probably you make my world better now in return. Okay, whatever that is. So we will ask some questions now. These questions I felt is what I needed to answer. With all my limitations, I answered. You also try today. Maybe after some day, when you try again answering those, maybe the answers will be different. Okay? Now, the first question is, who am I? You don't have to write a very theoretical answer. Please write what you truly feel. Now, who am I could be based on what people usually tell about you. Oh, you're a very nice person, very kind person, very knowledgeable, you're a very good teacher, all that. Maybe write that first. Then slowly ask, is that what you think inside you? What kind of person you are? Are you a loud person? Are you a timid person? Are you extrovert? Are you introvert? What kind of interest you have? Are you a person who will hold on to something for hundreds of, not 100, 10 years at least? Or are you a person who will forget things faster? Are you a person who's very easy to change yourself? Are you in general sad? What interests you? All of these things will generally tell you who are you, okay? If you have a long paragraph to write about it, then please write the question there and leave it one page and then go to the next one. First question is, who am I? Okay. Second question is, what is the meaning of my life? This will probably invoke you, whatever you're doing. How does that make you feel? Do you feel you're doing the right thing? Do you feel you're happy about it? Or do you have some kind of regrets, guilt? Do you have some kind of, I could have done a little better, I could have done that, I could have done this? Something like that. What is the meaning of your life? If you have problems here, also answering, write down the question and leave one page. But you have to answer all of this. Okay. So you all defined spirituality, right? The first thing, that's how we opened this discussion. But to be very honest, quite a few of you probably told the definition which you have learned. Now I want you to write thinking. What is spirituality for you? For me, definitely spirituality is something unknown is there. The feeling is around me, there is something unknown, and I want to know that. That is what drives me. That is what makes me go on experimenting, go on trying to understand. And what is that? What is it for you? So, what is spirituality means to you? Immediately next that, why it is like that? Now, this why question will bring down to your life. Why that spirituality, whatever you wrote, is like that for you? Maybe you say that I used to suffer from this, and then when I did something like that, I got healed. So I wanted to know what actually is that which helped me healing that, why I suffered. This could be the why for you. Or it's why is like that. I've always heard this kind of talk in my house, and I just want to experiment and know what it is. Or I need to make a lot of money. I want to manifest. That is why I just want to try this. I've tried all other means. Now I want to try this. Okay, whatever is your truth. The next question is, what is your expectation from your own spirituality? What are you expecting to learn? What are you expecting? Now you're into so much of spirituality. What is your expectation out of it? What do you want? What is your expectation from the spirituality you're practicing? Why should you do that, basically? Now the next question is that happening? Is that happening to you? Your expectation you had, is that happening to you? This gives you a measure. This gives you a measure of what you're doing actually. Now you have measured it now. Now tell me, the path which you have chosen, is that for you then? Let's say that I am a hypnotherapist. And why did I get into being that is something I have. And then I'm practicing with some expectation. Is that happening to me? Have I achieved? How much of it have I achieved? That tells me whether hypnotherapy is for me or not. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Is that path for you, whatever you have chosen? Or have you chosen this path by your definition or by someone else's definition? It is like you look at Yuvraj Kapadia and you feel, my God, isn't that so nice to be like that? Well, I think I should do hypnotherapy. I should do regression. Is that why you're doing it? Because you got influenced, motivated by others? That is very good. But does that resonate with you? Will tell you how much achievement you will have in that. So after this, ask your question again. What do you really want in your life? Then at this point, you may say that it's not exactly spirituality. I want to just make sure my relationship with my spouse is all fine. That's all I'm actually looking at. Today, that could be your reality. And you try all your means of whatever you could do, you tried and it didn't work. So you thought, okay, let me just try this spiritual methods. Let me be a little more spiritual and then let me figure it out. So when you do that, you may figure it out, this spouse is not at all for you. What will you do? These are the things when you enter into spirituality, all of these things will come. It will come out. And how much of it are you willing to take? Once you change, it's like a rubber band. Once it just goes that thing, you can never put it back. Once you change, you can never go back. Now the influence of that, repercussion of that in your outside immediate environment can be good or bad. That is not to scare you away from spirituality. If you're a smart person, you'll manage everybody. Isn't that good? Yeah. Now the next question is, why did you enter this spiritual path? Somebody may say that, oh, it was COVID and I had to stay back at home and everything was becoming online. And then I got to know a lot of things. I started enjoying it. Okay, that tells me that you had a lot of freedom and you had boredom. So you decided to get into this wonderful subject, because this doesn't have any end, by the way. So you can keep yourself busy until you die. Wonderful. You're very well aware of it. Keep it up. Side effects will be even good for you. Side effects will be there. Wonderful side effects will be there. But at least you know what you're doing. Side effects or byproducts, whatever you say, you will definitely grow. Okay. So that tells me, are you escaping something in your life? And spirituality is just that part to escape that. I know a lot of people who go for, what do you call that? Spiritual tours. You know, they go from one visiting of one place with a guru or somebody, they'll go and visit. Let's say Kailash Parvat, they will visit. Next, they will all visit some other place. This place, they keep visiting places with that group. There's this very specific group. Maybe they belong to healing group or whatever that group. They keep doing this spiritual tours. It's very good. But what I realized is there are many people in that, if they tell in their family that they have to go for this trip, which is based on the divine related something, they get the permission very easily. And they're funded very easily by the family members. Because for a spiritual sake, for the divine sake, you're going. Actually, they're getting a break from the family. I'm not lying. If you just tell them, I want to go to Hollywood and just check it out and come have a nice time with my friends, they'll say, why? Sit at home. Do the work at home. But this, they will get a lot of opportunity. Plus, this also gives a kind of high. Visiting places are very nice, actually. They have their own energies. And those people, I've observed that They're always jumping from one tour to another tour, another tour. They're going on throughout the year, they're jumping. The finish one tour, 1 week after, there's another tour ready. It's nice, actually. It's really nice. If you want to have a nice trip throughout a year, please join such group and do that. It's really good, provided you have time and money. Okay. So, did something happen in your life which motivated you to end up in this path? You can write about it a little bit. So these questions will tell you what made you choose your path, basically. The next question is, observe your own past and write down whether you're committed, involved, or you're just interested, or you're just quenching your inquisitiveness. How much committed are you? Have you been? Or are you doing it for others? That becomes something like religious. Just get up in the morning, okay, fine, you took bath and all that, you put the deepas on, you just light the diya, and then okay, fine, you just thought about a few things, and then you're out to your next. Sometimes we do that for others. Sometimes we do it because we've been practicing it. Sometimes we don't even know why you're doing it, but you just be done with it. So, is your spirituality mostly is not like that, but I'm just putting it there, hoping that something will happen every day. Are you sitting there and doing Ho'oponopono? Because somebody told you, you better do it. Or is this your hobby? That is also possible. You know that? It is possible. You just want that experience, and then you want that experience more and more, again and again. That time you're not going to grow. You will stick to that one feeling. You'll stick to that. It's like an addiction. Keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that, because that gives you high. Spirituality is a wonderful addiction. Trust me. I know a lot of people who are really addicted to that. It's exactly like any other addiction. It's got a divine name, that's all. And I want you to write your path so far you've come. Now, how do we write this path? It's not like a Google map, no? But exactly, you're creating a Google map. Like you'll say that, okay, I started being a Reiki therapist, Reiki person, and then I learned this. Then somebody introduced me like this. Then I started practicing at home like this, like that, you write your path. There are a lot of self practices also there in this. Every day you meditated for 10-15 minutes for 1 year, then you got bored and you stopped it. Even that is one of your thing in your Google map of spirituality. And in that path, next to that, you just write a little bit like, okay, this worked out for me, this did not work for me. This I felt it's not for me. I think it's waste of money and time. Oh, this one, awesome. I'm in this all the time. Your associations also you can write. I work with joining hands for such time, and this is what I practiced there, and I liked it. Something like that. You know? So you write just indicating with the arrow, this part, not me. This part, totally me. You'll suddenly remember that you did some few things which you have actually forgotten because that didn't resonate with you. I have few things like that. Okay? Now, certain few things which didn't resonate with you, certain few things which didn't work with you. What did you do about it? You just acknowledged it and left it. Or you felt that you're not equipped enough to try it out. Because this will tell you your dedication and your missions or visions. Or did anybody stop you? My child was born, so I stopped doing all of it. Or people in my house don't believe it, so I had to stop. This could be, did anybody stop you? Or you stopped yourself because of some event happened. Someone had told me that I did so much of energy healing practices. Then I started realizing that all the problems I was only getting. So I stopped. Others' problem I was getting. These are all belief systems. Whatever you believe, your brain will simulate that. So then you know that you didn't practice it the way it should be practiced. You kind of created a wrong belief somewhere. And that's why it started manifesting like that for you. And one thing you need to understand, spirituality is like water. Whether you want it or not, it will flow. The best thing for you is to flow it in the right path. And if you want to stop it, let's assume there is a pipe and there is a hole and the water pressure is there, so water is coming out of the hole, and you press that hole, it will come out somehow. It will find another hole and it will come out. It is like water, exactly. It will come out. How about using that in the right way and get the benefit out of it and enjoy it? Just exactly like water. You can't hold water. It will, if you try holding your water, it will go out. That's how is spirituality. You can only experience it, but you can never hold it. What leaves behind you is the experience of feeling that water. And that's all. Spirituality is exactly like that. The experience, if you're getting it, the beauty of the experience is what tells you that you are spiritual or not. Otherwise, there's no proof that you are spiritual. You don't need proof. We want that beauty. We want to experience that beauty. And that means you do not judge anybody. You don't judge any teacher. You don't judge any other person. It's so personal that you're not qualified at all to judge. And there cannot be a teacher also. At one point, you will go beyond that. And that's what it is. If you're trying to get stuck to a teacher till the end, you're limiting yourself. Spirituality is not having any goal. If you're making a goal, then again you limited yourself. Because you'll reach the goal someday and then you're done. So don't even have any goal. If you're sitting and doing meditation, you're just being curious. What will happen if I do? And that's all. Actually speaking, there's nothing divine about it. It's about understanding the self and what you are in this whole universe. What role are you playing in this whole universe? how are you this whole universe? Maybe that's the name is divine, but I don't know. For me, divine is something different. So if you ask some scientists, they will say that it's all about how your mind, your brain actually simulates the experience. Okay, fine. I want that experience. It's okay. Please tell me how to get that experience. If it is so science-based, then there has to be a specific way to do it very easily, right? I want to know that. That is how all of these techniques have come. Let's do those techniques then. Very easy. Let's get that. Actually, science makes it simple. But again, no one should have judgment. Even scientists should not have judgment about us. They better give us the technique and keep quiet. Because I will use the technique, do whatever I want. Okay, that's about it, ladies and others, about spirituality. Yes.
Yeah, Isha, I wanted to ask one thing that, sometimes like I'm not consistent in the practices in the sense that I do some practice for some time and it happens so something else comes up and pick up something else. So what is, like, I'm trying to understand, like, what is it? And later I understand, oh, I was doing that thing. How did I leave? And something else. And it's like, it happens so much, like it's not even awareness. Like, I don't know when I left the previous one and took the second thing. So I was thinking, what is it exactly? Like, is it like
That
hopping
means to
too
say
much?
you don't have clarity on spirituality, of your spirituality.
Yeah,
That
I'm
is the
talking about
question.
myself.
What do you
Yeah.
want? When
Okay.
you really answer that question, what do you want?
Hmm.
Now we'll do practices to get that. Otherwise, you are going out of interest, inquisitiveness.
Yeah.
You'll try this. Oh, this seems nice, good. Okay, fine. I found another one. Let me go there. Why? Because I am not clear about what spirituality I want. Just want to live.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or you would be driven from, I have these problems in my life. I want to solve those. I'm not caring to know what other, whatever divine stuff or that space. It's good for me. I have to solve my problems. So people say that, okay, if I do this problem, my problem will solve. Let me try this. It didn't solve. Okay, let me try another one. It didn't solve.
Hmm.
But what you have to understand is when you truly become spiritual, a lot of your problems will go away.
Hmm.
You have to aim for that, not the process.
Hmm. Okay.
And consistency is what it is when it comes to spirituality. Unless you do it until you get it, you have not achieved it.
Right. So even if you hear 10 things, just
It is
stick to
like
one
this.
or
It is like this. You climb a mountain from all different paths. The view on top is same.
yeah.
It doesn't matter you do today this, tomorrow do that, whatever. Reach there. First, that is what it is for you.
Right.
But you lose patience. You lose interest because you are never feeling that. That view on top, you're never getting it. And you're believing that there is no view. There's only road which goes up.
Good.
And I don't know where it is ending.
Hmm.
At least in one path, reach that view and find out.
Hmm.
Then you can use any path. You'll simulate that state.
Right. Yeah. I wanna-
Okay.
So one more thing I wanted to ask. You asked one question, that why did you enter the spiritual path? Now, suppose, it started when I was not even aware, in the sense that a lot of things I was hearing right from the childhood thing, and you entered, it just flowed, like there's no specific one instance which led to, like, I could categorically identify like this particular thing happened. That it's like right from childhood I was inclined to this, hearing or exploring or reading books or whatever it is. So then the answer, like I wrote, it just flowed. So that could be it, right?
It could be. That's exactly like that in my case.
Yeah. I
I
mean, more
entered
specific.
into this whole thing because I wanted to experience how the hypnosis works.
Hmm. Right. Because one thing or the other just came into my life. Like I didn't even know about certain things, and it just came into, like, it just somebody told, and then it started.
Most often, right from beginning, we are all spiritual.
Right.
We are
Right.
all spiritual beings, actually, who have forgotten being in the body and swept away with all our materialistic problems. The more materialistic you are, the more spirituality will grow, by the way. So if you want to be spiritual, just concentrate on enjoying your life. Get your money. To get that money, you'll become spiritual. To make your relationship work, you'll become spiritual. That's how it is.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you so much, Isha.
Thank you. Fine. So we came to the end of it. All the questions, please answer. I'll also put the question in the group so that you get to answer slowly thinking about it. Yeah? And one more thing you need to do it. When you're answered all of this, awarenesses will start coming. So write down those awarenesses. Like tomorrow morning, you're thinking about it. Who am I? Who am I? And you're taking bath. And suddenly something happens to you. Oh my God, isn't this? Okay, quickly write down before you forget it. It's like that. Most of the spirituality happens suddenly, surprisingly. And that's good. That's exactly how it is. 2 years back, when I have done the therapies, let's say the therapy, okay, whatever, I was trying to figure out something. Today, suddenly it occurred to me, wow, isn't that what it was? And suddenly I felt so much belonged in that thought. So then I quickly called up Jaya, who actually did it for me. And then she had forgotten, by the way. I had to tell her everything about, hey, hold on a minute. When we are talking about